on the computer. Anybody hear me?
Yep.
There it is. I think I heard it.
What the hell? I can't even find
All
it
right,
on Twitch.
we are
Check,
good.
check. Audio.
Alright, myself. There you guys.
You hear everybody?
I hear everybody.
Can you hear me?
All right.
Yep. We good.
We're golden.
And I'll link it in the chat here for everybody real quick. And why don't you kick us off, Holly? Give me a second when
I thought we were doing a recording.
Oh no, this is live here.
Live. Oh man.
We're doing
Damn,
live.
pressure's on.
You
We
can't
do
be
it
nervous
live.
already. Can't mess up, man. Can't like edit.
Nope. Nothing. There's no editing shit out here. You could potentially, because I know there are some people who wait till the morning time to actually watch it.
Yeah. Well, we're only 57 minutes late.
I mean, again, when was the last time a media show actually started on time?
That's true, man. That's true. That's true.
Even the throwdown in its prime days was always 10, 15 minutes late, every time. Except for maybe once.
We're good. What's going on, everybody? This is Pale Poner. I'm coming to you from 239 Hockey. Just a little impromptu media show that we got going on for the pre-draft show for tomorrow. Got a couple of guys here on the panel. We got Hollywood, Jim Flanagan coming back, making his return. We got Master Shotgun, and we've got Wizzy War on the panel for the first media show ever for him. And yeah, I mean, let's just kick it off. Holly, you've got the topics, you got the conversation. Let's go to you first.
Hell yeah, I do, man. What's up, fellas? 239 Hockey. 239 Hockey. Well, I can't even say this. I was going to say 239hockey.net, but you got to add the /forum. Hopefully, we get that fixed. Hey, Sniper, if you're listening in, man, I know you're working on a lot of stuff with the draft and stuff, man. We got to get the site working, the homepage, the stats. Everybody's going to need to see that. I know he will. You know, I mean, we got a lot of time here. You know, it's been a lot of off season here since the finals. You know, congrats to the champs there, Boats and Hose, young Kelch, man, and the gang. You know, doing a great job yesterday with the awards and, you know, a bit stuff about the draft. But we want to touch on a lot of different topics that maybe weren't mentioned last night. You know, as you guys know, it's season 15, and we got 15 teams on here, man. A total of, 18 captains, including with the co-captains. So we'll discuss a little bit about that, how the leagues evolved right now. You know, a lot of rookies, new guys in there. Maybe we'll expose some of those guys, you know. But yeah, we got definitely got a good show here lined up for you guys. Thanks everybody to joining us here. I'll be watching the chats there. I know Pill probably as well. You guys got any questions, comments for any of the guests on here, any co-hosts, any hosts, or, you know, something you guys want us to discuss about, you know, trades also going down, you know, a lot of trades on that. Pale Pooner being one of those guys in there, man. I ain't gonna let you slip on here, man. I know last night they didn't want to mention it, man, but hey, man, I'm gonna say how it is. So we could start with anything, man. I mean, I wanted to start first. You know, it's season 15. We got 15 teams coming in here now. There's been a lot of concern, man. You know, I'm not just gonna single out Yambag on here. You know, Yambag being one of the guys who probably had a heart attack come that when they closed up that draft pool. You know, because, you know, it jumped. What we had, like 8, 9 teams last season. What was it?
Yep. Yeah,
Right?
I think it was 8 teams last season.
Right.
Yeah, it was
So I mean, And then this thing all came about. I want to get your guys' opinions, man. I mean, we jumped from 8 to now 15. We got a lot of stuff going around in the real world as well. I'm not gonna get into the whole politics and stuff. I'll leave that stuff for Nick the Greek. He'll probably come out here sometime, discuss that. But stuff going around, and I mean, we turned kind of like a negative into a positive thing on here with the 239 community. It's great to see a lot of these guys back, man. A lot of these guys, that played for 4 seasons, including myself. I mean, I've been out on here for quite some time, but a whole big jump on there. Pale, what do you think, man? What happened here? What made this whole big jump? Were you surprised? Did you know this thing was going to go down like this, man? All of a sudden, we have over 100 guys signed up, 15 teams. I know you guys were scrambling there to try to get captains on here. What happened, man?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think me and the whole admin team really expected 15 teams. But we definitely went out this season with the intention of grabbing a couple more guys than we had in previous seasons. We opened up the floodgates a little bit on the recruiting and letting guys in, and that was definitely a conscious effort on our part to try and grow the league a little bit. The last couple seasons, it's turned into like really small compared to what it was, maybe 4, 5, 6 seasons ago. And we decided that we wanted a little bit more. We wanted to see if we could get some more guys in, help grow the community. That does come with some risks, and Yambag will be the first one to point that out to everybody. And he's not wrong. He's been running leagues for a long time, and he knows what he's talking about. So I'm excited for what this season has to offer, though. It's going to be interesting. There's a lot of new guys. There's a lot of new rookies. There's a lot of new time captains. Got a couple different rules for captains this year, as far as the part-timers go, and I'm interested to see how the league reacts, how everything works out. I hope that it'll do well, and I think it will.
Okay. I agree with a lot of those stuff, man. Go ahead, Shotgun, man. Yo. What was that?
I'll talk.
There we go. Yeah. Oh no, I'm here. No, sorry, I had to be no.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, season 15, we're on 15 teams. I mean, is a sign of concern on here? Do we hit that panic button and be like, whoa, I mean, there's some advantages and disadvantages going on here. So I mean, I could see some of the stuff that Yanbeck, stated in the chats on there. I mean, he's going out and saying that, hey man, when do I bust out the popcorn and see this thing, go downhill, man? Or is it going to be a shit show season, or can we make, is this going to be maybe one of the hottest 239 seasons out there, man? I think it's perfect timing, timing,
especially with this virus going on.
Right,
especially with the virus going on, and I think all these people coming in is greatest, but especially I think it's also people not just from LG. I think it's just even like some of the old timers coming back. Yeah, it's just some of the rookies. There could be some pain in the ass people, but that's just what happens. But I think it's great.
I agree. I mean, is it too fast, too quick? In the air? Did this need to happen? 239. I don't see it being a bad thing. Here's the thing, man. I mean, how long? There's to a certain point where the league needs to grow. I mean, how many times is Noah Gretzky gonna be a champ? I mean, it's like give him like 10 titles and and after a while, once you start playing with these guys. Or playing against these guys.
Sorry, Brian.
but I'm saying, like, once you start playing with a lot of these guys, or playing against these guys, it's the same guys. You're like, damn, you want that new competition, you want something new, something fresh, and I think this is, I mean, it comes with its disadvantage. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're talking about, like, let's say Rule 1 stuff, a higher risk of having more Rule 1s now because you got more teams, more players in there. So yeah, as far as having waivers, you know what I mean. You got more teams, yeah. So that's gonna come up. So I mean, I could see the struggles on there, but eventually, for a league, it needs to grow. That does need to happen because after a while, some guys take breaks, stuff happens, guys lose interest on there, and then and if you don't expand or try to do expansion, it hurts all around. So I think it's a good thing here coming into the season, and I think this is time for 239 actually to step up. Guys in the media, guys as captains on there, having teams, it's really show like what this league's about on here, and could really escalate things going on to the future, future seasons.
I mean, in captain's chats in the past, this has been an issue I've talked a lot about the league contracting. It was getting smaller every season, and the amount of new people that you classify as rookies, Pale can attest, it's been about like 5, 6, 7 people, sometimes 2, 3 rookies. And with the amount of people leaving, I didn't play last season, but I've been a regular for 2 years. So what happens is you have too many people leaving, too few people joining, and basically we're like Japanese birth rates. Terms of a hockey league, it doesn't work out. So you have to take risks. I think you can't have it too insular. That's what it was last, I'd say, 3-4 seasons. You need to add new people, fresh blood. I don't know a lot of these people who joined, and I think they're friends of people. I'm not necessarily sure they're well versed in leagues and stuff. I don't know. Someone can fill me in. There's a lot of people I don't know. So in that sense, I could see it tilting towards a little bit of shit show, or some people, maybe there's a parity issue. If some people are more clued in on these new people than others. But the bigger the league is, the more fun it is, because the more chaotic it is, you know what I mean? The more good things can happen. Sure, there will be some bad, and you have to take those risks. You can't be afraid of, I've always said, when the league was at its best, there were quite a few guys getting banned. I guess the admins don't want that, obviously. But there's basically been no Rule 1s for a year plus. And I think the league has... I don't think that's a, direct correlation, but I think it's a symptom. You need to take risks. Can't be afraid of
I wouldn't say drama is bad, but sometimes after a while having not really much drama, it did get maybe a little stale. So,
but there are so many people in this league who wouldn't be here if things a couple years ago were like they were today. Or not today, but in recent times, they probably wouldn't even be in the league. Mainstays. And I think a lot of the mainstays, if I'm speaking honestly too, it got a little boring. No one really cared.
Also,
it didn't feel like anyone. It didn't feel like people put the same effort in.
Also, wasn't that much media. There were some, but it definitely after a while it did go downhill. But now, also this season, we have yesterday's show, today's show, and then tomorrow's really the draft. So if you think about it, it's 3 shows in a row. So,
right.
That's
media,
pretty awesome.
Media's definitely lifeblood. Media's lifeblood of the league.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You might get that. Unique. Some of the season you might only get that for the whole season, 3 shows, But I agree with a lot of things you're saying on here, Wizzy. And then as far as the league, most of the guys, are here where it's a guy referred this guy to come in. It's not just random guys from drop in ESHL that just came in and stormed the league. So there is a lot of rookies coming in this season, but you look at the whole pool, what is it, 30, 35 rookies on there? Out of 130 though on here, that's really not as much, man. Yeah, and then you got veterans, you got guys, that played throughout the season, but it's guys that being referred to the league. if you go to other leagues or you play in other leagues, you see a lot more. Let's say like forfeits. Let's say like rule ones. On here where 239, like you said. I mean, what it was like one out of freaking like months. So it's gonna happen. Obviously, I mean, a league that grows has more. There's more stuff that comes with it. But I think 239 has really minimized that compared to some of these other leagues. Even higher top, leagues that have a lot more players in there, or even just like these random banana leagues out there. It's I think they done a really great job on that. So I think this is a season that to show that on there, and yeah, there's concern. There's always concern on there. You know what I mean? But you gotta take the positive with the negatives. I think the positives definitely outweigh the negatives on here, and I'm hyped, man. I'm freaking I'm excited about this. I mean, we've been doing like trades backs, with the swapping with the picks and stuff on there. Everybody seems really excited. Everybody's been really active on that. The amount of trades that's already transpired, and tomorrow should be. I mean, we're not even a day away. I mean, we're less than 24 hours from the draft. Which it's going to be exciting because there's tons of new captains on there. There's tons of players in this pool, and it's going to be very interesting to see what transpires. Because I mean, you're not. We've done stakes drafts before, but you're going through 15 each round, man. So it's a lot different than just going through like 8. So there's going to be a lot of guys that you thought it's going to be there for like a round 2, round 3, but are either no longer going to be there, or may drop
Can I talk
a
about the
lot
snake
more.
draft? Can I get a word
Yeah.
in about that? I don't know what the captains were thinking behind the scenes. I think the auction draft is far superior than a snake draft. I think it's led to the most parity seasons. I think it gives every team a fair shot. You can have more of a vision when building a team. I feel like the snake draft, like I've captained twice, and I've done the snake draft, and I've done the auction. And I just think the snake draft, a lot more can go wrong. I
You know,
don't,
in
I'm
the
not a
chat,
fan,
that-
especially
that was
part
brought up.
times.
That was brought up in
My
the chat.
biggest
by
issues
Si-
is it doesn't account for part timers well at all because you only have 6 rounds. Like whereas in an auction draft, you want to bid a part timer up right away, you can do it.
Mhm.
That can be your first nomination that you have a part timer. But now, yeah, I mean, there's some. Part of the problem is when we did snake drafts, part timers in this league wasn't really much of a thing. I'd say over the last like 3-4 seasons, it's become pretty essential. You have a part timer or two. So I'm not a fan of the snake draft personally. But, I'm not captaining, so I'll sit back.
What about you, Shaka, man? You're captain this season, man. Have you done both? Snake between snake and an auction. What do you think?
Yeah,
Man?
I've done both. I mean, the one I voted for the snake draft just because one
Damn it,
first off it's
Shaka.
so much quick. Listen, it is so much quicker. Instead of
Is
Well, I
it?
agree with
Tomorrow night-
that.
tomorrow night
I
it'll prob-
think so.
Is it quicker? Because the
Dude,
bids have a
au-
certain
the
amount of set
auction
time.
draft,
Like, you
like,
have,
was it
you have
like I think
schmucks who
like
spend
3
10 minutes
seasons
before they
ago
bid.
took like 3.5, 4 hours, I think, and then most snake drafts take like 2.
2. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing, and I guess you're right about the part timers. It's not really maybe the greatest for snake draft, but at the same time though, if you have a part timer that's good enough, okay, sounds like there's one floating out there. I will say it's gonna be very curious on where that particular player goes.
Mhm.
I think we both Pale and Holland know who I'm talking about. Actually, I think it was mentioned last night too. But so if you can get like a decent one, like in like the fifth round or so, he can still be very helpful to your team.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it in the chat. People did comment about that, like what type of draft. And once they found out snake, they're like, why? Why is it a snake and not the auction draft? I mean, you mentioned about the timing on here throughout. I mean, I could see that. I mean, I could see it, but yeah, if you have it set for each pick, that doesn't go over that amount of time. But whereas somebody just picking, yeah, I mean, but at the same time with that, I've seen delays in that too, where they're like, "Where the hell is this guy?" He's not around
Oh,
or something.
and also
But
another thing, like during the season, that now that when you bid on someone, and that bid like carries into the entire season. So
yeah,
the trading becomes even a little more complicated. On the snake,
I like the cap.
everyone's
I
fair
like the
game.
cap.
Everyone's fair game.
Well, the cap also keeps parity
That's
as
what I
well.
mean.
yeah,
So
that's
you
true.
can't
That
say,
is
"Oh, I
true,
want to dump
man.
off my my
It sets a
personal
certain
pick
value for each
for a bunch
player.
of nonsense."
Especially
I
for
guess.
right now, when you got like SBDR with like 3 picks in the first round, man. Like, that's uh, that's critical, man. Where it was
That
auction, it
might
didn't
not always
matter.
go well.
You know, you
Did
know?
they like daily have one season that had like 4-5 and then missed the playoffs?
Yeah,
Wasn't
yeah.
that a thing?
Yeah, I mean
I think he
that's
took
happened
like
quite
Brick
a bit.
City and like
So
SO.
just
that,
yeah.
but
So think of it that
I
way.
mean, it does happen. I mean, I'm not saying, but we'll get into that. We'll get into the trades as well. But yeah, that's one thing. I mean, season 15. I mean, we're doing with the snake on here. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, we got more teams on it. I think the snake is a much more safer at right now, and see how it goes. But is it ever going to change back to the auction and stuff? Maybe a poll out there. Let us know what you guys think in the chat, man. If you guys are watching this live, give me your inputs on there. We'll be monitoring that. But moving on here, the other thing, besides the snake, the 15 teams, we're doing co-captaining this season. There's three of them actually. Dom Silva with Rev Hellcat. We got SBDR on there. And I forget the other team. Cosmic, and
Cosmic
BTW.
and BTW. Yep.
Yeah. So, and maybe you could explain this one, Pill. Like what type of rulings on here between having the two co-captains, what you cannot do here. Um,
Yeah,
for
I
that.
mean, co-captains obviously they're not able to trade each other. They both have to be on the team for the remainder of the season. They are the captains of their teams. Really, the only difference between them and how the other captains work is there's just one of them that is able to post trades and make the official news. The other one is kind of there to obviously help run the team as well. And aside from that, gameplay wise, they're not able to play with each other. So they can't like stack the lineup. Like even in the
Like,
playoffs, they're not going
even
to
if
be
there's
able
one
to. Like
series,
you can't
one
have
series in a week.
no. One of them will have to play that, and the other one will have to sit out. So it's always going to be one or the other in the game.
So they
They
can't be in the
both be
same
there.
game at the
Smart.
same time. Is what you're saying. Like,
Right.
so you
Probably
won't
smart.
never have Cosmic and BTW in the same game. Which I mean, when I first looked at it, I was like, "Wait a second, how's this going to work out?" But then look at him like, whoever came up with the idea is brilliant, man. It's a brilliant idea, especially that we needed the captains on here, with the influx of teams and stuff. I
Well,
think it's a real.
you can
No, I
thank
think
McGilla for that one. He came
I
up with
mean, it's a
that
great
idea,
idea,
and
whether it's born out of
It is a pretty
necessity
good idea.
or like it's just a great idea. Because let's be honest, like I mean, Pale or the admins are like begging for captains every season. I'm sure you would agree to that. Like it's hard, especially when you have 15 teams. Like it's hard enough when there's like 11.
well,
But with
I mean,
15 teams, yeah, why not? It helps the parity. Like everyone wants better
I,
captains. Like let's face it.
right,
It's just
right.
reality.
Because
People want to play for good captains, and I think you have a lot
I
of them.
mean, you're getting like
Except
cosmic.
Nick the Greek, but that goes without saying.
Oh man, shout out to Nick, man. But yeah, no.
shout out to Nick. He was our last captain. He picked it up. He picked it up for us at the end and decided that he was going to take on that responsibility for the first time. So I appreciate you, Nick.
There you go, man. There you go. But yeah, parody I think it works out a lot well, man. I mean, because now you got Cosmic BTW who wouldn't be able to captain at all, as a part-time players, as opposed to going with, like I don't know, Legion as a captain, you know what I mean? Just throwing it out there. So it does help, you know what I mean? It does work its way out on there. And I think the concept is great, man. I mean, it's they both can be in the same games, and you got one guy playing one night. It's 239 is 2 series a week, so it works its way out. And I'm glad we got this because we got Dom as a captain. He wouldn't have captained, SBDR, so that opens up that door for part-time players to be captains for the first time, man. It took 15 seasons to finally, shout out to McGill, man. It's great to see his brain still working at this age, but you know, so good with that, man. Good with that, because I wouldn't have thought of that. I mean, if he didn't, I mean, here we would have been sitting with Hockey Mike, freaking Marine
Marine
Mike,
Mike.
so like, so it's yeah, I mean, so that definitely works out. Anything else you guys want to add to that? I think Shotgun, or can we move on, man?
Oh, let's move on.
I want to see. Just as everybody else. I mean, I want to see how this works out. You know what I mean? Pale, is this something that for this season alone, or is something maybe look for future seasons as well?
I think we'll see how it works out.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I don't anticipate it being an issue, so I can see it being an option in the future moving forward. But I don't want to commit to an answer right away without seeing how this season goes. We've got 3 different teams that are running that style right now, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. Okay. That's fair enough, man. That's fair enough. Uh, so moving on here, man. A lot of trades, man. A lot of trades going on, and I want to
Blame
discuss it.
Hale.
And I'm talking about like switching the spots, man. And Pell, I'm glad you're on the show here, man, because I'm putting you on the spot, man. I was absolute trape, man. I don't care what anyone says, man. I don't care. They could cover this up or anything, but dude, man, this was this was just brutal, man. This was brutal on here, and I think if you didn't do it, some of these other captains may have done it as well. And that's just I mean the first freaking trade of what went down, and I'm talking about Pale pretty much trading number 15 and 75 to Monster J for 28 and 33. Um, Here's the problem, man. I mean, number 15, it's pretty much a round two pick, man. I mean, who are we kidding here, man? But the way Pale probably sold this, you're gonna have 2 round 1 picks on here, but at the same time, now you're taking number 75 off his chest. So, um, Monster J takes this deal. He
Yeah,
loses round 2. He loses his round 3 pick, man. Ends up with 15 and 75. And the reason why this was a big trade, here's the thing, man. I mean, just looking at the numbers, man. 1575, man. You add those two up, you got 90, man. You take 2833, it's like 61. That's like a 30 number difference, on there. And that's like 2 rounds. Um,
It's the
Mods,
second worst
Mods,
trade Jay made.
we'll
Sorry,
get to the
Jay.
other one as well. I think this one was though, man. Here's why. Here's why. Jay took number 15, and like I said, that's pretty much right there with round 2. Pale Polner's got the number 16 pick. So he's really not losing much with 15 and 16. On top of that, he's still getting a round 2 pick from him. Uh, then he gets 2 round 3 picks. Oh no, 3. I'm gonna 3. You know why he gets 3 round picks? Because Pale Polner has 45 and 46 on there. So I can't count 46. So Pale Polner is done with the draft by round number 3, man. And
well,
if
I
that
actually traded
if that is not
again,
a trade,
but
I don't know what it is, man. I mean, I've been here a couple of seasons. I mean, I've seen DJ get owned by freaking X Daily on here, but this tops it, man. This, you know, and not only that, he was able to give away his 75th pick, which is technically almost like a round six pick. So if you look at the board, it's like Pill traded a round two and round six pick for a 2 and a 3 round pick. So Jay, I don't know what was going through his head on here through this. Definitely not what
Drugs.
McGill's head's thinking, man. But
Drugs.
man, I mean, you can't say that you got 2 round one picks, man. I mean, it'd be different if you got like a number 3, but he already had number 3. I'm saying like number 4 or 5. You're getting a 15th pick, man, in the first round.
So here's the thing, Holly. I've done snake drafts quite a bit. Obviously, I've been a captain, almost every season since my second season. I think I've not been one 3 seasons now. And I'm quite used to being at the very end of the draft. I am at the very end of the draft almost every single time I captain. The only time that I've picked in the top 8, I think, was season 4. So I'm always at the bottom, and that's a familiar position for me. When this season ended up that I was picking last again, I did what I've traditionally done when I've been in that spot. And, the second the draft order was announced, I put it out there, hey, I'll trade my 1 and 5 for a 2 and 3 if somebody's on board with that. And Monstar J hit me up pretty much immediately and was like, yeah, I'll do that. No selling, no discussion. There wasn't really anything.
No questions asked, man.
Other than
Holy
just
shit.
advertising that my 1 and 5 is available, and I would take a 2 and a 3 for it, and he took it. Now I've been on the other side of that trade before as well. I think season number 6. I think Wizzy was that Netflix and chill. No. That season I didn't do that. The season after that I did that, and I ended up taking I ended up taking Figo and Blue Line King in the first rounds, and then I just had a bunch of guys that I took in the 4th, 5th, and 6th rounds to round out my draft, and I ended up going to the finals with that team. So I mean, it's possible that to do it from that, but as everybody has pretty much decided, it's probably really hard to just go with a first round pick and only a first round pick and do something with it, especially in a draft as big as this. 15 teams is a lot of teams. There's a long wait between that first pick and your second pick if you're not making any trades. It's like 30 picks from your first to your second. So everybody's got a strategy. That's what I preach to these guys, especially the rookie captains, when I, ask them to captain in the first place, is that I really need everybody to just take into account everything. I need you to have a plan, no matter what you're doing, have a plan. And, if what your plan is to go out and get 2 first round picks, then go out and get 2 first round picks. But also Monster J is a rookie captain. Everybody's been there that has captain. You live and you learn sometimes. Sometimes you figure out that you didn't do the right thing and you change it the next time. So regardless of what happens this season, I'm sure Jay will find a way to persevere and make something happen this season anyway. And if he doesn't, that's okay. He can have another shot. So
Hey, Monster
That's my
J
thoughts
did
on
not come in with a no game plan, man. I don't care, man. Hey, Pale Polner, I'm not bad mouthing you, man, because you did the right thing, man. You did the right move on here, in getting this thing happening to go down. And like I said before, if it wasn't you, I'm sure some of these other guys would have done the same had they been in that predicament. But yeah, you live and learn on here. I don't see anything here that benefited Monster J. He lost his round 2 pick, where he pretty much just got a round 2 pick for it. Then he lost a round 3 pick on here, meaning Monster J, after he makes that 15 pick on here, he don't pick till round number 4, which is crazy. Which is, I mean, that's more than 30 spots over for his next pick, man. So I'm not saying that he's going to draft a bad team or you're going to have the cup winning team. I'm just saying you're handicapping yourself so bad on here where you have 2 picks in the freaking 6th round, man. By the time the draft comes along in round number 4, he's just selecting his 3rd guy where people already have or are on their 4th pick. So, but hey, man, I mean, he posted a whole big thing that night. He had the trio from Miami Heat posted there that he was going to get 2 of his guys on there, the 3, and that's all he needed. So, but we'll get to later on because this thing changed, man. These trains changed. This is not how it remained on here. Shotgun, you got anything else to point, man? Am I wrong, man? Is Pell on here talking some sense, man, or is he talking a lot of garbage, man?
It was a trade. Not even a question. Like, you can't defend it. There is no
I love how
can't
Pell
even
did,
say,
though, man, but
I can't even say that, like, I can see it from Jay's side because I can't.
I can't.
So he's said.
The thing about Jay is he brought in a few friends to the league, and I believe are on West Coast connection. So no one really knows them.
Oh,
but him.
don't get started on the West Coast,
So,
man. No.
so what I'm saying is like Jay
This
is
is
going to take this.
surprise me and say
Jay-
will come in here and
Jay gave
lose
other
their
people
mind.
value, like way too much value. There's no doubt. Like Jay made terrible trades on paper, but I think he's gonna take the same people he was anyway, and no one else is really gonna take him probably. So it's one of those things like. That's probably.
But then why make the trade?
I
here?
don't know.
That's the thing.
Because he wanted to go to the skate park. He wanted to go to the skate park. He was bored. Like I mean, that's Jay. That's Jay.
You know what? Maybe this is all actually part of his plan. Just throw a smoke screen, laugh at him, and he'll be just like, "Oh yeah."
Or he wants the publicity, man, on here. He just wanted, like, hey, man, these guys are going to mention me on the show now, man. I'm out there, man.
Maybe.
But I know in those chats, man, in those captain chats, you could get, really, you know, especially when there's a lot of trades going on, people are discussing this and that, you could definitely get, you know, caught up in that. You're like, oh, maybe I could make this move here. Oh, that sounds real good. I got 2 round 1 picks, man. No, you don't, man. No, you don't. but all right. I'm not gonna waste any more time because we're still gonna roast Jake later on here, man.
Yes.
Next picks here. Shotgun, you were involved in this one, man. You traded your 6th pick, which was your round 1 pick, 6th overall, and your 36th pick to Nick the Greek, man, for his 12th round 1 pick and his 2nd round number 19. I see this as an even trade here.
So do I.
Here.
So do I.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get the criticism. I can explain too.
You know, I mean, I can't advantage one over the other. I mean, I see what you've done on here. You know, I mean, you moved down on here from your removing yourself from the first. Nick the Greek on here, giving you number 12 and 19. You know, well, Shaka, let me get your opinion, man. You're the one who made the trade, man.
Honestly,
what happened?
Honestly, like I just put posting that I was interesting in moving down because honestly I didn't really like where I was. Nick hit me up with that offer. I'm just like, perfect. I wouldn't say like either I won the trade or he won the trade. I think we both got what we wanted. He traded up for because he didn't think the person he was gonna draft with number 12 was gonna be there, and I essentially moved down, and how I look at it, I have 3 second-round picks. I mean, and I know number 12 is like late in the first, but that's pretty much just how I see it. I was just looking for just hopefully to get like a more balanced team.
I mean, when you're a goalie, you're historically at a big disadvantage when it comes to the draft. Like, you have to hit multiple. You have to get forwards, you have to get defense.
I am not playing.
If you're not a
goalie
goalie, oh my god, get the fuck out
Wait,
of here!
Shotgun,
Don't draft me. Don't
Lord.
draft me. Can I get banned for that?
Oh man,
I'm being sarcastic, of course, but wink, wink.
Nah, that was a big thing, man. That was a big
Wink,
thing.
wink.
Come on,
Jesus,
to the
Shaka.
signups, man.
Listen, Coach Cortez, they can say, well, they can say what they want. I'm just here to prove everyone wrong.
Do we still have that
That's it.
captain like vomit emoji? Is that still anywhere? All right. Well,
It's on the site if you can
all right,
get on
fine.
it. I'm
Fair
sure.
enough. Fair enough. But from you can't treat, especially with the snake draft, you can't treat every pick like it has a certain value because the value varies too much draft to draft. Like normally, I would love to be. I mean, like I'm a defenseman, so I can cross off that, and I can stack my forwards usually, and that's why I'll play forward. But like usually, I like having like a late first and some mid seconds or stuff. Like I like that area of the draft. But if I'm looking at this draft, I think it's really deep in the middle. And if I'm being honest, I think there's maybe like a handful of people that I would say are strong candidates for the top of the first. And then I think there's a jumble of names that you could say, like, let's say you're picking 12. I think 12 could be the same as 20. It depends, like, it's personal opinion. Like, I don't necessarily think there's these big front runners. I think the top handful of picks, maybe including 6, could be really, really strong.
You know,
And then it's a matter of opinion, it's preference. Like 12 could be the same as 20. I mean, so I'm saying I guess that's what I believe is Nick's vantage point.
Can I
He
can I
needs
say
the
something
top
on
player.
this?
No, you can't. But feel free.
Okay. I think Nick sees someone at 6 that he really wants, and as someone's already said, that won't be there. And he gets 36 in a draft this deep, a pick that's still going to hold value. Where Shotgun here, he gets the benefit he wants. He moves out of that top tier, gets 2 great middle, first, early, second picks. So, actually does a fine trade for both.
Yeah. I like Shotgun's point on here. By the way, that's a line coming in on here. What's up, line? But
Let's go.
but on the I think Shotgun got the better end on here. The whole reason Nick moved up to number 6. There's a guy specifically that he wants where by number 12 he's not gonna get him. So hopefully he does get that guy number 6, because if he doesn't, and he's scrambling around there number 6, it's gonna be bad news there for Nick the Greek. Whereas Shotgun on here only moves down 6. It's not like he's off the board on round number 1. He still has that first round pick. On top of that, he's getting a number 19 pick, and he's got 25. By number 25, Master Shotgun's already got half the team, set up on there. So I think that was a great deal there for Shotgun. I would have taken that trade myself, man. All right, moving on, man. This is the one a lot of guys want to talk about, man. SBDR, alongside with Andy, the dual co-captains there, trading with, once again, Monster J. Just couldn't get off the trades, man. Doing now, this made no sense to me here. He's giving up his number 3 overall. It's not just a round 1 pick. Number 3 overall. That it's not where Shotgun's giving up his number 6 pick or Nick the Greek's giving up the number 12 pick. He's giving up a number 3 overall pick on here. Okay. He's also giving up number 58 pick, and then the 75th, which I don't know why they even put the 75th. That was just made no sense, because in return he's getting 17, 44, and 74 in response. Let's cross out to 74, 75, because that makes no bearing on here. I mean, you're pretty much at that point thinking what? Hockey Mike or Marine Mike on there, the difference. So yeah, okay.
Jeez, way to just throw them under the bus.
So
Poor Hockey
so you
Mike and Marine Mike. Yeah.
so you
Marine
move
Mike
one
is a
up.
champion now.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. He was almost a two-time, man. Hollywood
I can see Anderson and SBDR taking him 3rd overall. To be honest, it's an option.
But seriously, 74 for 75. I don't even know why that was a thing on here in the trade, but it was on here. So made maybe Monster J feel proud that he got one up on here, moving up to 74. But looking at the other two, man, he's giving up number 3 and number 58, and in return he's getting 17 and 44. And he's talking about this West Coast, East Coast thing on here. I'm not buying it. I think Monster J, after getting traded by Pale Poner on here, panicked and was like, "Whoa, what the? I fucked up, man. No, there's no reason. I mean, so he's like, let me try to fix this on here." And then he screwed it up even more on here because now he's like, okay, he realized, oh shit, man, and now you're gonna give up your number 3 pick on here. Does anybody see the logic here? Why he did this? Because
No.
I don't, man.
There's
I
no
don't-
logic.
I mean,
let's not worry about that.
Well,
That's the logic.
here's the thing, though, right?
I would have vetoed it.
He
Honestly.
didn't have any
Okay.
pick until the
I tried to,
the
man.
4th round, and it was the end of the 4th round where he would have had a pick. If he's legitimately worried about defense or goalie or something like that, and maybe he shouldn't have made the first trade in that case, but end of the day he did. Then maybe he sees, I need to find a way to get a goalie, and I don't know how to get one without moving a pick. And again, it's like, okay, well, could he have gotten more? Possibly.
Oh yeah,
Is anybody offering him any more?
I mean,
probably not.
I
Or
think
he would have
Kelly and
taken it.
Conway drafted that defense, pal. He moved up 14. He moved up 14 from the 4th round to the 3rd round to move down 14 from the 1st to the 2nd. It's 14 spots, I believe. It
If
doesn't make
Hollywood's
sense.
doing the math, he thinks that's a good trade.
It doesn't make sense.
No.
14 picks.
Hey, that's my
from
man.
the
And that's
1st to the 2nd to move up 14 from the 4th to the 3rd. Like, there's just no logic. He didn't even get Anderson and SBDR's 13th overall pick. Like,
And out of all the guys on here, he
14.
had
We still
to
would've
give
been
it to those two. You know what I mean? On here, I don't care about Monster J, what team he picks, man. But it's he's giving SBDR on here freaking 2 first-round picks, man. And it's not just a first-round pick; it's number 3 overall on here. Well, I don't know, man.
You can't trade people in an auction draft.
Right,
No.
that wouldn't even matter. That wouldn't matter, man. Monster J could captain every season.
Straight up, I would have
But-
vetoed this trade, like, if you could, because it's just so... There's no sense to it. Like, it's just bad. It's like trading a 1st round for a 4th round to pick.
I'm
Like, people hate those
highly
trades.
highly perplexed at what Jay is going to do. Honestly, does he like try and take 2 high offensive talent ends and just play for offense, and or what? I can't tell. I think COVID-19 lockdowns had him on the weed. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, if he was gonna do this, he could have trailed Pale Palmer for pick 15 and 16 instead of doing this, taking 15 and 17 on here. Late 1st round pick here now for Monster J. He gets the 2nd round pick, and now he's got his 3rd round pick, right, or 4th.
Yeah, this is 3rd.
Oh man, I mean, Monster J, man, I really hope I'm wrong, man. I really hope, man, but it's not looking good here. Can we just hand out that captain award right now, man, or is it too early, man?
I mean, Shotgun's in the running. Let's be clear.
Oh,
Like, it's
okay.
Jay. Oh, it's Jay right now. But like if you had to be like dark horse candidate, it's Shotgun.
I
Sorry.
mean, was it out of the 9 times I've captained, I've made playoffs 7 times, and with 2 bad seasons.
What position were you playing?
Goalie. So I just switch it up.
Okay. So yes, I mean, so that's my issue on here. Like I said, Monster J put himself in a hole, man. From that first trade, he tried to fix it, man, and now we got SPDR, number 3 overall pick, man. And on top of that, man, he's also got the number 14 pick on there. You know, it's gonna be dangerous, man. It's gonna be dangerous. You got 2 part-timer co-captains there on there. Very interested to see who SPDR is gonna get there at number 3. You know.
Probably my
moving
guess is
on.
a right wing. A right wing would be my guess.
Okay. Moving on here, Pale again, man. You couldn't get off the trade block just like Monster J. You want to make more trades. I don't know why, because you were put in a spot where you're done after round 3. So you want to make more moves here. Now with Croydon Knight, you trade off number 28 and 33 for number 20 and 50. I didn't like this move on here, just to move up to that 20 spot, because, like I said, you're taking number 50 now, where you would have been done by round 3.
Which is still the 4th round. No, I would have
Yeah.
been done in round 4 regardless.
No, come on.
50 was only 4 spots below where I would have been done anyway.
But you had 46, right?
Right.
At that time,
So
you had
46 minus 50
Wait, you have
is,
46?
Well, at that time he
I
had
had 45 and 46,
yeah.
which was
So
the end of the
46
third
was
and
the-
beginning of the 4th.
You traded them in
So
a
46 was his last to have the 6 guys on your team, man. So, and
Right.
you can't say 46 is around 4, man. If you have number 45 and 46 on there, he's technically a 45, man. There's no pick in between there that's gonna drop you lower, you know. So that's what I'm
Well,
saying.
what do you mean? 45
you
is
had
around
45
3 pick and 46 is around 4 pick.
Right, but I'm saying that 46 is technically a 45 round pick. Right?
Well,
I mean,
I had 45 and 46.
correct. So I'm saying that 46th pick is technically like a 45th pick, because you don't have
They're
like
back to back.
myself. Right.
Yeah,
So
there's nobody between
whoever
them.
you take at 45 could be 46, 46 could be 45. So that's why I'm saying by round 3 you're done, man.
I still had those though. I still had those.
No, you did, but
I-
but then you took in number 50 here, as opposed to dropping off number 33, which I didn't agree with, man, because now your 6th guy will be
so
at
the
number
reason
50.
for that trade is this. I do. Everybody knows in this league, I do a lot of research with my draft and whatnot. I make sure that I scout pretty much as many people as I possibly can. You know, I'm the guy that's, you know, if you're new to the league and you want to get scouted, I'm the guy that you go to, because I'm the guy that does all the scouting and whatnot. I see pretty much everybody play. And I go through and I do a mock draft on my own, and I put everything together that basically, you know, I'm not going to say that I know what people are going to pick, but I know what a lot of people are going to pick, and I can make a good guess as to what other people are going to pick. And
So,
you know, I end up making a mock, and I see, okay, these are my top 20 guys. These are the guys that I think are going to go here. And you know, I said to myself, okay, well, am I realistically going to get who I want at 28? Like, is it realistically feasible that he's going to be there? And I told myself, nah, he might go between 28 and 20. And I went out and I made a trade with Corinne to put myself in a position where I am almost positive that I'm going to get the person that I want. And I only dropped 4 spots from where I was going to finish my draft anyway.
So
I
you're
didn't see
down-
it as a
Right.
very big loss.
you're done at 71 now, right?
No, 50.
I am, because I made a
well,
couple
now he
trades
did
after that.
Right, that I don't understand, man. But I mean, I'm not saying this is an awful trade, man. On here, it's not much different on here. Just a couple of spots here and there. The other one, when we get to that one, I don't understand at all. I mean, you're mentioning about, you know, where each guys are gonna go. That's fine, man. That's fine. But if you already got that spot on there, why are you gonna give it up? I don't see a reasoning in that, man. But I mean, to each his own
so-
on there. You know.
Yeah, so the Nick the Greek trade, it was pretty much the same thing. I saw somebody ahead of me in the draft that I thought might take a guy that I want at that
I
third round
think you
spot,
felt bad for
and I
Nick the
said-
Greek, man. I think that's what it was.
No, I told Nick straight up. I was like, look, I want to jump ahead of this person. I was wondering if you would be interested in just a minor deal. And, you know, I went up like 3 picks and he went down 3 picks, and he's got the rat pick now, and I went down in the 4th round more. And then right as the deadline hit, Croydon Knight hit me up completely separate from that and was like, hey, are you interested in 28 again? I'll give you 28 and 71, I think it was, for these 2 picks. And I thought that there was value in that. I really liked the middle of the draft this season. and I thought that in those 20 range, I can get some really good players, and I can get players that I really want. So that's why I made the deals that I did. Ultimately, from my draft position to now, I have a much higher 5th round pick than I did have. Let's see, I have 3 picks in the 2nd round, and I still have a pick in the 3rd, I believe, and
Yep.
and
No.
4th and
Yes.
no, I don't
No,
have a
not
3rd.
in the 3rd.
I don't have a 3rd. I have a 4th and a 5th, but my 4th is pretty much 4 picks lower than where I was originally anyway, and my 5th is much higher than it was, which was the last pick in the draft, basically. So I'm comfortable with what I did, and I really like my position in the draft right now with the 3 seconds.
Hey, Croy won that trade, man. I mean, listen, man.
He might have
49
gonna,
to 71. That's a huge
I'm not going to worry
difference.
about other captains. I'm worried about my draft and what I'm going to be able to do.
I think
Pale always has his ringer. He always has his ringer. Maybe not ringer, but like his under the radar guy that he's going to draft with a late round pick. Never fails.
What I see in
Never
this,
fails.
But I'm saying he go get him at 46 as opposed to 71. What's the difference?
yeah,
on
but
there?
maybe
Because he'd rather have the
He'll just-
maybe
he'll
you
just
move
get
up and
too
get
much
someone that
into
wouldn't be
this-
there at 28 by movie. I think Pale, what he sees here by doing all this scouting is someone that no one's going to draft, and that might fall that late, and now he takes the value up to 28 and gets a much better player there that he may want than in the 40s, and uses that 71 on this under the radar guy, and that's what I think he's trying to do here.
Right. Well, that I'm okay with. I make a training 28-20. The 33 for 50. That was fine. Even though the one with the Nick the Greek 45, 46 for 42, 49. But this one, getting the 28 back on here, I don't know, man. I mean, it's almost like you're doing what Monster J was trying to do early on, man. Not as bad, but I mean, yeah. I mean, if you think you could get your guy at 71, that's fine. You did move up other slots, but if I were you, Pale, after that first trade, I would turn off all messages on there. I'll do what Shock pretty much does. Signs on like 5 minutes before the draft, man. You don't hear anything. You won't see Shock move in the draft at all, in the snake draft. So,
I don't think Shock's made a pre-draft trade once in his entire
not even an
history
offer or no, I want to win. No, his thing is completely off, man. And that's why I think some of these guys should have done, man. Take some advice.
Might be good advice to take here and there.
Yeah. I mean, you guys got to put it up in the rules or something, or when there's a new captain coming in, hey man, you got to read this before you go in, man. But it is what it is. I mean, it's fun. I know a lot of guys had fun on there. A lot of guys were heated in that chat, man. I mean, D Mark called one of these that Monster J trade as the worst trade he's seen, and this is a guy that's been here since season 0, man. So that's saying a lot, man. So if you guys get on these freaking social medias, these freaking guys, Mr. Hollywood doesn't know what he's talking about on here. No, man. Listen, man. You got trade, man. That's the bottom line. A couple other trades, man. Here, BTW Cosmic with Bartlett Matthews, aka Cosmic.
I like
up
that
13,
for Cosmic.
48, and then
they want Cosmic wants part-timers.
Yeah.
In the mid rounds,
okay.
It's obvious.
Cosmic doesn't need 13th overall. He gets 2 good picks in 24 and 37 there.
Okay, what do you think, man? Shotgun, man. Anybody get the better end on here? Or was it even trade?
Which one was this game? Oh, the
Cosmic and yeah. I think it's even, man.
I think it's actually pretty close. I mean, I think Cosmic maybe won a little bit, but I do have a funny feeling too. Like he's gonna go after a couple of the part timers. Kind of what was it? Demar did that one season where I think his entire team was part timers. That was absolutely ridiculous.
That'll be interesting, man. Especially in a snake draft like this. If he does that, that might be a first, man. I don't know. We'll see. Uh, but yeah, I mean, pretty much one guy's moving up 11 spots, the other guy's dropping 11 spots, so he evens out. 1348 equals 61, 2437, 61. So all around here, pretty even. Moving on here. I was involved in a trade, man. I see all these guys doing all these move trades. I'm like, you know what? I got to get into here, man. And I traded with SPDR, man. I giving up my 39 and 69 pick. I try to do almost what Pale Poner did on here, but by this time SPDR didn't have that much. I don't think he had a second round or a third round pick, so it's hard to do. But I get 47, 58. I trade 39 and 69. What I wanted to do here, basically, get rid of my 69 pick, and I did accomplish that. So this way, I end the draft by 4, have my 6 at that point. You know, um, you guys could comment, man. I mean, that was my whole reasoning of why I did this. You know, I messaged a couple other guys, but this guy did respond. So. You know,
Savage.
you know, I mean, I see from 69, 58, it's a big deal for me to move up. And then I ended up having, I think, like 3 4th round picks, you know, at that point. So, but yeah,
So
but SPDR's
right now?
got like 3 round 1 picks or something, 2 round 1 picks, you know. So I don't think he really minded taking that 69, and he was able to, you know, move the other one around. So that's what happened there,
Yeah,
man.
so you traded. I think you went down 11 picks and up 11 picks, right?
Yeah,
it was the same number.
It's almost like the cosmic trade here. I mean, if you add the numbers, yeah, pretty much 10 something to 105, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so like in the middle rounds, I think that's more acceptable. It's a lot more tough to make that calculus work out when it's the first and second rounds, I think.
Yeah. And what SPDR wanted to do here, because he pretty much wanted to move up a bit, because I think he had a big gap between round 2 and 3, since he gave up that trade to Monster J, you know, to get the 3rd overall on there. So he moved up from, you know, 47 to 39. Not much, but he did move up through that, and I guess he didn't mind about that last pick. Maybe he's got, like you, Pale, he could pick somebody up in that late round. So
Yeah, I mean, you have to think that everybody's doing everything with a plan in mind. That's the way I think of it, and that's the way it should be done. Is nobody's out there just trading picks just to trade picks. But I don't know. Maybe they are. I'm giving too much credit.
Was that it? Was that it? That was all the trades, right? That was all the trades.
I think that's it. You traded to Dom Silva.
Oh man, I think you're gonna mention. You're talking about people doing just trades for the.
Actually, pretty sure there were 3 more trades, and then one of them is a complete, absolute freaking wash. Like, Pale again.
45, 46. Yeah. I got trade trigger, man. You know. But yeah, I did trade with Dom, man. I had the 9th overall. I mean, it's not like a top 5, top 6 pick. You know, number 9, almost in the middle of the pack there. And I just felt at that spot, a lot of the guys that I want are gonna go top 5 are gonna be out. You know what I mean? So I traded off that number 9 for his round 2 pick, and then I was able to even again move up my other pick from 52 to 40. Okay. Now what this sets up though for Dom, he's got number 9 and 10 now. He's got back-to-back picks in round 1, which is also dangerous on here. Supposedly, what I'm hearing is he wants to get Dalai Lama, but I don't think Dali's gonna drop that far. where he could get
We could do a
Dolly and
mock.
Sea-Doo at 9 and
Go through
10.
each pick the first,
You know,
maybe.
Yeah, I could
want
see him wanting to get Dolly and Sea-Doo there.
yeah.
I don't know if both of them
I
are
don't
gonna
think
be
it's
there
happening.
for him.
Okay.
No,
That's why I
it's
gave
not
up. I was
happening
initially
at all.
Yeah, nah.
that's where I gave up my number 9 pick because I felt too. There's some guys that I wanted to get when I'm looking at number 9. I don't think it would happen, and maybe he does. But hey, I've seen silly stuff. I mean, there's some rookie captains. I think Master Jay's picking one of the picks around there. Nick the Greek, so it could happen.
I mean, listen, Yambag drafted Annihilator one time just because he had a cool name in the first round. So things happen, man. Like the unexpected can happen for sure.
I agree, man. I agree. That's it, man. That's it. So there's no more trades at this point, man. Sniper is gonna be inputting everything into the system there, so this way everything's ready by tomorrow night for the draft. Um, Anything else I didn't mention on the trades on here, or you guys want to input anything?
Yeah,
There was
good.
another
Good.
trade I think
Covered.
with Bartlett. Bartlett and Cosmic, I think, or did we
No,
go
no,
over
we
that
did.
one?
No,
we
we
went
went
over
over
that one, I guess.
Yeah, we went over that.
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Now, a lot of you guys on here, old-time vets, man, been around in the league for quite some time. This season in particular, a lot of old vets are back in this draft in this season, man. I got to ask you guys here. I'll start with you, Wizzy, man. Wizzy, you played with a lot of these guys, man. Who are you most surprised or most excited to see that they're back here in this draft here this season?
Do the right
Uh, uh, Go
I
ahead,
mean,
man.
it's gotta be the Lime 18. It's gotta be.
I'm 18, man. Okay.
I mean,
okay.
this is a busy kid, going to school, doing SATs and stuff, and he found the time to come back to this league. I'm gonna voice this for all the guys to know. Lime and I have played basically every season together that he's been 239. So do the right thing.
There you go. There you go.
Do the right thing.
Dom Silva, man. You got 9 and 10 right there, man. Lime and Wizzy. There you go. You'll be set.
Do it, please.
Hey, hey, I'm excited Lime's back, man. I mean, we used to do top 10 plays and stuff, man. This guy would always make those, man. Some clutch saves. Tremendous, man. Tremendous. I learned a lot, man, just watching you play, man. So, what about Wizzy? Is there anyone on here, any old vets that you would like to make for them to make a comeback that are not in the draft pool and have played in 239 before?
Kind of shocked Pogs isn't there. Not that
Pogs, okay.
not that he's
Okay.
been here every season. That's
He's been in and out,
This is the
man.
season he took off. No, I think he's literally been here every season. Every
Yeah,
single
since
season
his
since I've
first
been
season,
here.
he's been in.
Really shocked he's not here.
Maybe
Puck's a
season
good
4, I
presence in the
think,
league.
season 5, something like that. It's been about 10
Yeah.
A
seasons
lot of
now.
people signed back up. Old vets.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Honestly,
I mean,
a lot of guys played here before I even
I mean, there's
came.
real stuff going on as well, man, during this time. So, I mean, I could see. I mean, I don't know where Pogs initially is, what area he's from, man, but yeah, he's usually there. Surprise me. If you see surprise me in the draft pool, you're gonna see Pogs, but this season not. But yeah, I agree. I've played with Pogs a couple of times, and here's a guy that plays multiple positions as well. It would be good to see him come
I
back.
just say this is like the first time in how long that Pogs and Spencer aren't playing together on a team?
Oh man.
It happened like
So-
once. Before.
Yeah, I think it's only happened once. Surprised me and Pogs both didn't take captain, I think, and surprised me got drafted high.
Yeah, and
Pogs went to the
and
finals though. Pogs went to the finals that season.
Yeah.
they even do it in other
Speak
leagues,
of the
man.
rest. Yeah.
I mean, but
I mean, for me, my biggest guys that were missing, we got Daly is a big one that isn't going to be here this season. Esoteric's another guy.
hey,
Um,
hey,
that-
I've
that I
been
would've
I've been
liked
in
to have seen.
negotiations
Stealth
with
Luka
Esoteric,
D.
man.
I mean,
That
South
might.
Luca D.
South Luca is on like a deserted island somewhere. He's like on a deserted island after a plane crash.
Whatever happened to him? He just one day just
I
disappeared.
don't know.
Never to
It's
be
probably in
heard
the
from
same
again.
island with Drift King, man. Time to get Steven.
Yeah.
What, you talking
Uh,
about?
no, no.
There might be
Hello?
a basketball hoop on
Hello?
there or not. We're not sure.
What about
I
Pale
can
Pill?
think
What
of
about
oh.
you mentioned guys you want to see come back. What about are you surprised with anybody that's on the draft pool, man, or excited that a guy's back, man, this season?
Oh, I gotta take a look.
And one that I know that I didn't expect
Dolly
to
and
see
Sea-Doo
was
are making
Rocco.
a comeback this season. They haven't been in
Recently,
maybe 2 seasons.
Sea-Doo, I think, only took one season off. Sea-Doo took one season off. She capped in the
Yeah.
fall. She capped in the fall.
Okay.
I know Dolly's been a little in and
So
out.
they were
He's
gone
busy.
for 1 season. I was excited to see that they were back. I don't think C-Dub played last season either. It was good that he was back.
yeah, they're all back, man. C-Dub, C-Do,
Cortez.
Yeah, we're all on a
Cortez.
party one night, and
Morty McFly.
they're basically on the edge about it, and they got pushed
Crips.
over.
Shotgun, am I
Floats
missing
back.
anybody, man?
Flo floats a little. Flo doesn't
Yeah.
play
Clancy.
much, so he's
I haven't
on.
seen that name in a while.
Yeah, Clancy
the
and
one
Ozzy
I said
Osbourne are
earlier.
making their
Rocco.
return.
The one
Rocco?
the one
It's
I
been a
said
long
earlier
time.
was Rocco. That when I saw him sign up, I'm like, really? Like, I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, we're gonna get the Bro Show back at some point this season, I think.
That was
That'll be
courtesy
sweet.
of Mr. Hollywood for Rocco being back, man. Just put that out there. Hey, man, you look at that draft pool. You look at the sign-ups when Cortez and myself signed up that day, and you look the 3 days after that. It just boomed, man. And there's a reason for that. But
I mean, I'll always
But no,
say like there are players that people want to play with, and when they join the league back, people want to join the league and follow them, whether it's for like the entertainment factor, just to make it more exciting. Maybe on the ice they're good players. You know what I mean? When you got good people sign back up, more good people follow. Never fails.
it ends when you get drafted by Shotgun, though. So, right? Or could go through the season, you know.
What is that? Ruined
Alright.
a couple careers. and revived a couple too. Works both ways.
But yeah, a lot of all the old vets. It's gonna be interesting to see where these guys go, man. Are any of these guys washed up by now, man? Do they still got it, man? So where each go? Some of them are part time, full time, you know. So that goes with the old vets, man. But we've seen a lot of freaking rookies, man. A lot of new guys on here.
A lot
I
of
don't know
them.
if you guys want to expose any of these guys on here, man.
I don't know them. I looked them up in other leagues. A lot of them haven't even played. If I was a captain, I'd be like, I'd either try to do scouting games or shit myself because
Yeah.
like there are so many people I have no idea whether that's good or bad.
So I went through and looked everybody up because that's what I do. For Moose, LG, IOHL, a lot of different leagues. Just typing their names in Google and seeing if I can find anything that way. And
Damn.
I've got a list of about 10, 15 names that I don't know anything about. They've never played in any leagues that I can find. They've got nothing on their Xbox history or anything. Like, I can't find anything about these guys. So
Reminds me of
it'll be
myself.
interesting to see where they go.
Going under
Yeah,
that radar, man. Under the radar.
Exactly.
I've seen like so many people. So many people ask who the hell is John XX John, on here. A new guy into the league, man. I play with a couple of these guys, man. I don't know how to pronounce some of these names though. Nabuch, Nabuchod.
Yeah, just call him Naboo.
Yeah, Naboo, man. Speaks Russian, man. But a very nice guy in the parties, man. Great. I think he played left wing, man, with us. But yeah, I mean, it's busy. I've heard about him. Big sexy out there, man. Hey, if you're referred by Matthews, man, you can't be that bad, So keep that in mind. I mean, going to this draft. One guy I could mention about that I do know stuff about. I'll expose him on there. I don't care. Hall of Fame, man. Hall of Fame. Tremendous defenseman, man. If you could get this guy, rookie, on there. I know he hasn't been in this league, but he's played elsewhere. Great offensive defenseman, man. If you want a defenseman, like freaking Brick City out there, man. This guy, I played in net at one of the games against him. I think it was like we got blown out, man. Our team was horrible. We were like 3 and like 99, man. But this guy put up like 8 goals, man, on defense. On defense, it got to a point where I was like, I'm not even gonna worry about where anybody else on ice. I just freaking signaled again where he was, man, on there, and that's when I got a couple saves on him. But tremendous player, man, tremendous player. So captains, listen out there, man. Hall of Fame, and you got a name like that, man, on here. You got to be good, man. So, Shotgun man, Any rookies on there you want to expose yourself? I know you've played a lot of games, man.
I know. Well, I think last night they said like the real, I guess you could say big one, but he's part-time. That's Seiji. I can't pronounce his name right. Seiji. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll literally, all you have to do is look at his LG stats, and you're like, yep, he's good. I'll say it'll be very interesting on where he actually goes, and I actually know when he goes. Because even for like a one series a week, that could be like a huge boost.
Okay. There's any other rookies you guys want to mention? If not, I'll go on to next topic on here. I know time remaining here, man. Trying to get this through here, and you guys could thank freaking Stoey Jopa, man, on here, making us wait like an hour. No show. Supposed to be the Jim and Joe shit show, man. It didn't happen.
Jeffrey Grit Jr. needs an appearance, bud.
And we even had Slow, man. Winslow came out here calling him on the cell phone, man, knocking on his door, man, and still no answer. But shout out to Slow, man. Good to see him back in the league as well. Moving on, man. I know it's too early. Teams haven't been drafted anywhere, but looking at the draft pool, looking at the position wise on here, if you were to select who's taking Vezina this year, man, on here, maybe it's because he's signed up on here, or maybe there's a captain that he's going to land on. Do we got early predictions for Vezina right now?
This is a loaded question.
Oh, line 18, man. I'm gonna start with you, man.
Honestly, it depends on how teams fall out. That's obviously being a good goalie in this game is a part of it, but also having a good team in front of you.
Let me change it. I mean, I obviously you're gonna take yourself, man. But you've played against a lot of these great. You played against a lot of these goaltenders, man. Maybe on that draft pool, who would you say? Probably, when you guys match up, you're like, oh shit, man, we're going up against this guy, man. Who's that guy?
There's a few names that I'll point out here. One of them obviously being B-Crips. That's a tough series. That's a series I have to go into knowing I need to let in only a few goals because he's only going to be letting in a few goals. But, it really depends where some of these other guys end up playing. Like a guy like Dolly or Cortez are good goalies, but they might not be playing net. Nah. Exactly. And there's a few of those all across the league, and so it's positioning the team in front of you, that kind of thing. But the one guy I'll know is in net that I don't like playing against, B-Crips.
Okay. Shotgun, man. Disappointed, man. I don't know if I'm disappointed Shotgun not playing in that, or if we can what's that guy's name? Or Drug Monkey not putting defense on the sign up, man.
No, that's definitely more disappointing. Definitely, I wasn't winning bets now. That'll probably never happen. But I think Well, if I were to pick someone to win Vesna, honestly, I'd pick Cortez. I'm pretty sure someone's gonna pick him up early as a goalie. And if everyone's actually seen Cortez play good goalie, he's very good.
Okay, okay. What about you, Wizzy, man? Who do you hate going up against, man?
Uh,
Nobody?
I mean, the easy answer is always B Crips, just because he's been historically the best goalie in this league. But like, goalie's pretty deep this season. I think a lot of teams can do well for themselves. Clancy is a very underrated goalie. I believe Clancy won in net a couple seasons ago. I mean, you have Derek Jeter can play goalie. Drug Monkey is a very good goalie. Um, got Link Runner coming back.
Hell yeah.
Back. Notorious Figo, Mighty Mouse, real under the radar right there. Sniper's a really good goalie. I mean, he's a really good defenseman too. The Lime, you got some part-time goalies. I mean, you got a goalie captain or two. No, I think goalie's gonna be a pretty strong position this season. I don't know, but you're really the problem with this game is I feel like goalie in this game is harder than ever. With the pucks that go through and fluke bounces, it's really hard to play goalie behind a bad defense. So you put any goalie in a mediocre team, it's pretty hard to win the Vezina.
Yeah, and that's the point I was making. That's 50% of it is the goalie's ability. The other 50% is having a good team in front of you.
Okay, well, we could always revisit that question. Once we got the draft going down, we got team selected.
Exactly.
We could revisit that. You know what I mean? I was gonna get to the score leader and stuff too, but we'll save that. We'll save that after the draft goes down.
Yeah.
On here. Pale, you had anything else to you want to mention on here, or anything else I missed out here before we close out?
Nah, not really. I'm excited to see how this draft goes. I think there's a lot of interesting positions for some of these captains in this draft, and I'm excited to see what they do with them. I think it's a very unpredictable draft, more so than really any other snake draft that I've been in this league. I think that there's a very clear top 5 or 6, and then once you get through that 5 or 6, there's a lot of number of ways that people can go. So I'll be excited to see what happens there tomorrow. It's crazy that it's tomorrow already. I know that the off season has been relatively long compared to what we've done in the past, but that was with intent. That was to try and see if we could get the signups up a little bit higher than we have, and that seems to have worked. But yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow.
Okay. I mean, we're talking about less than 10 hours, fellas, on here going down. It's already Monday. Unless you're in a different time zone. There for me, it's 12:18. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be happening. Gonna be interesting. Draft nights always are, but this one in particular, man. A lot of guys wanted to be a part of it, and I don't blame them, man. It's going to be new faces out there, a lot of different captains out there, and a lot of old faces on there. So who's going to go where? How this all pans out? It's going to be happening, man. It's going to be definitely interested in where everybody stays throughout the season. So I'll thank everybody coming out here, joining us, man. Line, freaking Wizzy, Shotgun, filling in here because a couple guys could not make it. Let us know what you guys think, opinions, anything we mentioned on here. I apologize for bringing out Maureen Mike and Hockey Mike earlier, but it is what it is. I'm apologizing for Monster J though, man. That will stay on there. But hey, good luck. Maybe prove us wrong on there. All right. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm excited, to be back. And hoping to get. I hope I don't fall in the same boat as Shotgun, man. I'm gonna try to do things a bit differently, man. Differently on here, And Pale, how many teams actually make playoffs on here, man? We got 15
8.
teams competing. Is it eight?
It's going to be 8. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
8 teams. That's
8
tough,
teams.
man. That's gonna be very tough, man. You know,
Yeah.
with that
Like
spot.
it.
Well, yeah,
Too many seasons with like a first round bye, or
right,
I don't like
right.
that. Eight out of
You
15
know,
really
and something
separates
I
the.
think that might happen this year is I think teams will have a lot more time to gel. I think people are going to find themselves being able to get on a lot more,
Mm-hmm.
in evenings and stuff, just given the current situation for a lot of people. And I think that's going to let a lot of teams build up chemistry, and I think it's going to be a really competitive, fun season.
Agree. Should be a lot of time. Captains should have no excuse putting in those stats, man. Shock, I'm talking to you, man. Outside of that, yeah, it should be fun. Hey, I know I'm back in the league on here, and I'm looking to do a lot of the highlights as far as media wise goes. I know this league does a lot of streaming, which is great. I'm not trying to discourage that. You know what I mean? Guys are streaming, continue to stream. McGill done a great job with the semis and finals, breaking those down into highlight reels there. But I'm looking to do more of like the season promos, like the player highlights, team highlights, championship team
Yeah.
highlights, stuff like that. Maybe even
Let's
top
actually
10
talk
plays
about that for a minute.
place of the week. Here's the thing, man. Like capturing the games is great, man. But it's also the time consuming, where a guy could simply just press the Xbox button and X, and boom, he's got the highlight, and it saves time, especially if you try to be consistent and throughout, week by week. It just makes things much easier instead of me downloading the entire game, going through the footage, editing it out. I encourage guys to save the highlights. We actually have that on the Discord chat. There's a specific highlight section on there where you could just post those, and depending on the response we get on there and how much people, I'm not saying save every fucking goal or save on there. Just I mean, there's got to be like one or two highlight in a 3 game series. If we could get those, we got 15 teams, man. It's got a lot of games, man, going on each week. So I think we could, man. I think we'll get those top tens going again. You've seen some promos I threw out early on, but I want to get some new plays. I got new graphics available on there. Maybe I could get Cortez do some of the voiceovers again. So yeah, yeah. What were you gonna say, pal?
Yeah, so I just want to stress the importance of that because, me and you both did the top tens a long time ago, when you were still a big part of the media and whatnot. And going through it every game for every series is just not a feasible possibility of like
Yeah.
saying, all right, let me watch this and see what I find and whatnot. Like, it's just way too much work. And it's way too easy of a process for to just have one guy on each team just be like, all right, I'm gonna be the highlight guy, and if something really cool happens on my team, I'm just gonna hit the menu button and then hit X and record like the last 30 seconds of gameplay and just submit it that way. So if you guys want that type of content, if you really want that top 10, that Hollywood content that he used to put out a long while ago, if you're new and you don't know, if you're looking for like a really cool like top 10 video, like a weekly video series or something like that, and that's what you want, really have to have like a league-wide commitment to getting those highlights done and posted by the teams themselves. You can't really just say, all right, go to this part of my video stream and like let me go pull that, and like I have to go digging around for a while. No, just hit the Xbox button, hit X, and then go back and post it in the highlight thread later on so that we can take a look and make that work, because it's really a lot of work to put those types of videos together, and
For sure, right?
that was one of the most time consuming parts of it.
Right, because
So
I mean, here's the thing, man. I mean, like you said, you hit the expo and boom, you're done, man. As opposed to me downloading the entire game, you know what I mean? Then putting it into the editor, cutting this out, and then making the whole video. Especially if I'm adding voiceover and all this other stuff onto it. But yeah, I mean, it opens up a lot where we could do, like I said, a champions highlight reel. Like, how cool would it have been to see like boats and hose highlight reel? You know what I mean? Or to do, season promo videos, for upcoming season drafts and stuff like that. Player highlight reels, score leader or Vesna winner, have his highlight reel going, and top tens, like you mentioned. So. That all could be done, especially the technology these days. It's so simple. They make it real simple to do. Because back in the day, man, I'm telling you, it was so I don't know how we did it, man, but we did. I'm talking about like VCRs. I'm talking about like freaking just
Yeah.
anything to get it done. You know what I mean? So that we had to do. Or now it's so simple, man. And I'll grab them right off that DVR page. It's so simple to do on there. And
From
even if
Twitch.
it,
Clip from
yeah,
Twitch.
well, Twitch you could do, but the thing is, the guy from Twitch has got to cut that out from that video, man. Like
No,
Pale said,
anyone can do
like
that. Anyone
we
can
don't
go
want to
onto
go in
Twitch.
there and having to find that, on there where you could see.
No,
The
not
only
you,
thing I
the person
hate,
submitting it.
yeah, the only thing I hate, I don't know why this is like if you're broadcasting, like on Twitch or Mixer, you can't do the highlight. You know what I mean? Which is stupid, but it's got to be something that's why it is. But so keep that in mind. If you happen to be streaming the game, you won't be able to use that DVR. So it's got to be somebody else. But then you got 11 other guys on the ice, so you know, only one guy needs to do it. So yeah,
I remember
if you could, yeah.
I remember a few seasons ago, Magilla wanted to start that up again. Like he asked people to submit in highlights, and he did it for 1 week, like a top 10, and they never did it again. And I was submitting clips the entire time. This was when me and Lion were on the same team, Lion. And I kept submitting clips of Jay, just doing deeks. I'm like, Magilla, why didn't you put in any more highlight reel videos? He's like, because you were the only person setting them in.
It becomes
They're probably 90% clips of Monstar Jay. Damn clip teams.
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, listen, we got 15 teams on here. I don't know how many guys in total that is, but I'm hoping we get, and I think as soon as we start putting videos out there, people get more interested in that. And consistency, yeah, is a big part. You know what I mean? If we're gonna do a top 10, you got to stay consistent because if you stop after week 1 or 2, there's no point to it. People lose interest and all that. So, I mean, these seasons are short and stuff, so. I don't see that being of a problem, but yeah, like I said, we'll do it. We'll do what we got. If not, I do daily highlights as well. So where if you're the only one that submitted that day, I'll still put a package together and post it up. So you know that's it. That's all I got, Pale man. Tomorrow night's gonna be happening.
It's
Is
gonna
there
be
a free
fun.
show or is it just go right into the draft, man? We're still being worked on.
I don't think they've decided. The draft itself is at 10 o'clock. I think they said there may be one at 9 o'clock or 9:30, but they're not sure yet.
Okay.
You know, but we'll see. There will definitely be something going on at 10 o'clock though, at the very least.
All right. All right. All right. Signing us out, Pill, or signing us off here.
Yeah. Let's just send it around the horn, I guess. This is Pale Poner. I've been in the league for a while, and I'm happy to be back on the media here in a little capacity. I don't expect that this is going to be something that I do consistently, like I was when I was on the Throwdown. But I'm more than happy to jump on every once in a while when somebody asks. Yeah, looking forward to the season. Wizzy, what are you thinking about the season, man? Let's close it out.
I mean, I'm only part-time, and I took last season off, but, from afar, I think people have a lot of reason for excitement about this next season. I think with all the new people joining up, there's a whole lot of, mysteries to be revealed, a lot of balls in the air, who knows, right? I think it'll be a good season, though. Anytime you have 15 teams, anytime you have a lot of new people, you have to remember, it's their first time here too, so maybe they put in a little more effort, and maybe that makes a lot of the old timers put in more effort too. So, I'm excited.
Lime, how you feeling, man?
He said it pretty well. It's a new season. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm on a mission. Yeah, excited to play.
Master Shotgun, you got.
I got nothing. Really excited for this season too, and yeah, should be really fun.
All right, Hollywood, close it down, man.
We got to
Finish this up.
interview Shotgun after the picks he makes, man, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
We'll tune in same
I am
time,
down.
man, tomorrow. but
I'll be down.
no, keeping it. I want to give a shout out to the admins, man. 239 don't get much support and stuff, man. And these guys go through a lot, especially tomorrow, a night like tomorrow. I know it's gonna be hectic, it's gonna be crazy and all that, man. So guys like Sniper and stuff, putting everything together. Then the guys watching the chat, make sure the captains are there, everybody's doing their thing. So and I know it's going to be frustrating a season like this. Sometimes could be, but I think we get through it, and I think if we bring our best, man, whether it's through the media, whether it's through the teams, the captains on there, making all the games get played, the players showing up there, and dropping, not having the rule ones as limited as possible, and that will eventually make the league grow. People, so I think this season we could definitely do that, man, and definitely make 239 great again, man. I'm all in, man. I'm going in full force here come season 15, man. I'm excited, and I'm gonna try to do what I've been doing, man. I'm gonna try to as a captain and media wise as well. So good luck to everybody, man.
Yep. Good luck, everybody.
Luck.
Good luck, everyone.
Let's do it.